In a distant world, far beyond the stars, there was a small village called In Rainbows, nestled beside a quiet lake. The villagers often said the lake was shaped like the moon when it was full, glowing faintly in the starlight. There lived a young boy named Thom, a curious dreamer who spent his days wandering the shores of the lake. Every night, when the village fell asleep, Thom would sit by the water and gaze up at the strange, pale moon that hung in the sky. Its reflection danced on the lake's surface, rippling softly like a lullaby. Thom believed the moon was alive, watching over the world and whispering its secrets into the wind. Some nights, when the wind grew strong, he thought he could hear voices, faint echoes of another world. He called them the lost sounds. One evening, when the air was still and heavy with dreams, Thom noticed something strange. The lake's surface shimmered more brightly than usual, and in the distance he saw a small boat gliding toward him. It moved without oars, as if it were being guided by the very reflection of the moon itself. Thom stood up, heart racing. The boat stopped at the shore, and inside it sat a creature unlike any Thom had ever seen. It was a tiny, mechanical bird, its body made of old wires and rusted metal, with glowing eyes that flickered like candlelight. The bird tilted its head and spoke in a voice as soft as a whisper. "Do you seek the sound of the moon?" Thom nodded, captivated by the bird's strange glow. "Then come with me," the bird said, "for the moon sings only to those who listen in silence." Thom climbed into the boat, and together they drifted out onto the lake. As they sailed, the water around them began to shimmer with colors. Brilliant reds, deep blues, and golden yellows, like a painting come to life. The moon's reflections stretched out, pulling them toward its center. The bird fluttered onto Thom's shoulder and whispered, "Beyond this lake is a place called Kid A, where time does not follow the rules of this world. There, the moon is not just a reflection, it's a doorway." Thom looked up, and as the moon's light enveloped him, he felt as though he was floating, weightless, in a vast sea of sound. It was not like any music he had ever heard. It was soft and distant, yet it vibrated through his entire being. Suddenly, they passed through the moon, and Thom found himself in a new place, a strange land where everything seemed upside down. The ground was made of glass, reflecting the sky, and the air was thick with the sound of 1,000 soft voices, all singing together in harmony. It was both eerie and beautiful. The bird flew ahead, leading him to the heart of this land, where a giant tree stood, its branches glowing with tiny lights. Beneath the tree sat a figure, cloaked in shadows, strumming an old guitar. The figure's face was hidden, but Thom could hear its music. It was familiar, like an echo from a distant dream. "Who are you?" Thom asked. The figure didn't answer, but played a soft, haunting melody. As the notes filled the air, Thom realized something. This music wasn't just sound. It was the sound of time itself, flowing backward and forward all at once, like a river bending in ways it shouldn't. "I'm here to listen," Thom whispered, closing his eyes. The figure continued to play, and the world around Thom seemed to shift and sway with the rhythm. He could feel the weight of all his thoughts lifting, the worries of the day fading into the soft embrace of the music. In this place, he was free. Free to dream, free to wander, free to be still and silent. When Thom finally opened his eyes, he was back by the shore of the moon-shaped lake. The boat and the bird were gone, but the music remained, humming gently in his heart. As he walked home, the wind carried the faintest echo of the melody, like a distant memory of a dream that lingers just before waking. Thom smiled, knowing that the moon would always sing to those who were willing to listen. And that night, as he drifted off to sleep, he could still hear the sound of the moon, a lullaby that carried him deep into the quiet places of his mind, where the lost sounds waited to be found.